Bruce stumbled home just before dawn, barely able to stand. His face wore a sly, satisfied smile, the kind that spoke of a night well spent. His mother's elder met him with an expression of disappointment and worry. "Look at him," she said, her voice trembling. "Look at the state he's in. Is this what independence looks like? He's 28 years old and he's behaving like a teenager with no sense of responsibility." She wiped away a tear, her frustration evident. To Bruce's dismay, his father Ralph appeared in the hallway as well. He also looked at his son with a mix of disapproval and contempt. "You've been gone for almost 2 days," he said. "You didn't answer your phone. Your mother was beside herself with worry. And you have the nerve to show up here in this state," Ralph demanded. "Well, I do have an apartment, but you changed the lock, so I have to live here. So deal with it." He shrugged and leaned against the wall, crossing his arms. His father took a sharp step toward him, but his wife held him back. "Don't, Ralph," she pleaded, sniffling. "You're not getting anything out of him now. We'll talk to him tonight." Zelda and Ralph sent their son to his room. That evening, as Bruce nursed his hangover, another problem landed on him, making him forget his morning sickness and all his other troubles. "What do you mean, I'm getting married?" Bruce shouted. "Have you forgotten what century this is? You can't force me to marry some mousy girl without my consent." His parents had decided to marry him off to Olivia, the daughter of their friend. She was a beautiful, quiet and kind, but not the type Bruce was attracted to. "I'm not marrying her," he declared. "You don't have a choice," Ralph said calmly. "You can refuse, but you'll face the consequences." "And what consequences might those be?" Bruce asked sarcastically. As the spoiled only child, he didn't believe his parents would punish him seriously. Bruce had always been raised with love, care and wealth. His father's firm was highly profitable, and Bruce, his only son, was handsome and indulged. Ralph had always dreamed that his son would one day take over his business, so he sent Bruce to study in England. But the young man had no intention of giving up his partying lifestyle. When Ralph's old schoolfriend Ben visited with his daughter Olivia, the desperate father was charmed by the young beauty. Soon she got a job in the legal department of Ralph's office. She worked hard and at 25 was already defending the firm's interests in several hearings. Despite her toughness at work, in everyday life she was modest, shy and timid. And one day Zelda came up with the idea of marrying her son to this wonderful girl. Ben had no objections to becoming family. As for Olivia, she was guided by reason, believing that love was unnecessary in the beginning, that simple respect would be enough, and that in time they would get along. "We will disinherit you, cut off your funding, take away your cars and block all your accounts." Ralph listed the consequences of refusal. "The apartment we bought for you will revert to us. So decide. Either you marry Olivia, join the family business and stop your drinking, or you take your bought diploma and go your own way." Bruce was shocked. He hadn't expected this from his parents, and it hadn't been an easy decision for them either. But they were afraid for their son's future, seeing him stuck in endless parties and thinking only of nightlife. Trapped and resentful, Bruce knew he had few options. He was painfully aware that his education, funded entirely by his parents, hadn't made him particularly valuable in his field. With no other choice, he reluctantly agreed to the marriage. The wedding was extravagant, and Zelda was overjoyed with her new daughter-in-law. Bruce, however, grew to despise Olivia, blaming her for the life his parents had forced upon him. The beautiful ceremony, lavish gifts, and a wedding registration in the best country club were all a facade, hiding the tension that simmered between the newlyweds. And late at night they arrived at Bruce's apartment, which his parents had returned to him to share with his wife. "The last thing I'll do is sleep with you, you gold digger," he snapped from the moment they were alone, unleashing all his bitterness. Olivia silently retreated to the living room, wiped away her tears, took off her elegant dress, and went to sleep on the sofa. Each day that followed was a struggle for her, as Bruce continued to hurl insults, stayed out with his friends until dawn, and sometimes came home with lipstick stains on his shirt. Olivia couldn't bring herself to tell his parents, not wanting to disappoint them, especially since Bruce had started taking an interest in the family business. At work he ignored her, and in private he continued to insult her, smirking when he saw tears well up in her eyes. After one of his nights out at a club, Bruce got into a car accident. It happened near their home as he was trying to park the car. Olivia, as usual, was sitting in the kitchen waiting for him. She knew their marriage was a sham, but she still worried about him and felt responsible. When she heard the sounds of the crash, she rushed outside. Fortunately, the accident wasn't serious. Bruce had a cut on his eyebrow and an injured leg. Olivia helped her husband out of the car and into the house. "Are you okay?" she asked softly, bringing the first aid kit. "I'll tend to your wounds, but we should visit hospital in case you have a concussion." Olivia kept talking, afraid that if Bruce spoke, he would start insulting her again. The next morning, Bruce's parents arrived to see their son, and before Bruce tried to figure out a way out, Olivia explained everything to them, taking the blame. "You see, Bruce decided to teach me how to drive, and when a car came towards us, I panicked and mixed up the gas and brake pedals. Bruce wasn't wearing his seatbelt, but he made me wear mine, so he got hurt and injured his leg a bit." The new husband was shocked by her act. "Bruce, why teach her to drive on a busy road? She could have gotten hurt too," Zelda scolded her son. "It's really strange. I thought you had a driver's license," Ralph said. "I have a license but very little experience," Olivia briefly explained. After lecturing the couple on their carelessness, the parents left. Ralph asked Bruce to rest and work from home. "Thank you." Bruce dryly thanked Olivia and limped to his room. Olivia prepared lunch and hurried to work, while Bruce, enjoying the meal, noted that his wife was a good cook. He had noticed before that Olivia covered for him, never telling his parents about his escapades and never responding to his insults. "Why do you cover for me? Are you afraid that if my parents find out about my affairs, they'll kick you out too?" Bruce asked when Olivia returned from work. "I'm worried about them, not you or me. I have somewhere to go even without your place," Olivia replied. "I don't want to constantly argue. Please stop. I'm tired from work today." "Why do you even work? My parents adore you. They think I've become a responsible husband thanks to you. Is it because you enjoy living in comfort so much that you're covering for me?" Bruce asked. "As I said, I'm not doing it for you. Your mum and dad are happy that you're working at your father's firm. I don't want them to be disappointed or hurt. They are really good people, and my dad also values them very much," Olivia explained. "And you're terribly selfish and too spoiled, Bruce." "You're just a greedy, envious little nobody," Bruce taunted angrily. "I'll keep hurling insults until you walk out that door on your own." The sound of footsteps echoed through the hallway. Zelda, seething with anger, rushed towards her son. Her eyes were full of disappointment. "What a spoiled, irresponsible child you are!" she cried out. "How dare you say all this? Didn't we raise you to respect others, especially your wife?" Tears streamed down the woman's face as she clutched her chest, her breath catching. "Zelda?" Olivia rushed to her side, catching her as she began to collapse. "Call an ambulance!" Olivia shouted at Bruce, her voice trembling. He lunged for the phone but stumbled, his injured leg giving way, and he crashed to the floor. Olivia grabbed the phone and dialed the emergency number herself. Fortunately, Zelda's condition wasn't critical. Her blood pressure had spiked dangerously high. Bruce was diagnosed with a severe sprain and given a stabilizing brace. "Olivia, You can stay with us for a while, Zelda asked, her voice steady but firm. Let this foolish boy handle everything on his own. Zelda, everything is fine. I'll stay with my husband, Olivia replied softly. She knew Bruce needed help, and despite his hatred and hurtful words, she decided to help the man who needed help and was, after all, her husband. 2 weeks passed. Bruce no longer insulted Olivia, but she still didn't speak to him. She did all the housework and helped Bruce with his tasks without a word. Having been home for 2 weeks, Bruce grew accustomed to Olivia always being there, helping him with reports and anything he didn't understand at work. He tried his best to grasp the firm's affairs. After a month, his leg had fully healed. Bruce and Olivia still only communicated about work. She ignored any personal topics. Surprisingly, he found out that he enjoyed watching her cook, work, and chew on her pen cap thoughtfully when pondering something serious. Olivia, let's go to my friend Ian's birthday party tonight, Bruce said, sitting across from her at the table, distracting her from her work. But I wasn't invited, she said, surprised. You were, he replied. We'll stay for a couple of hours and then come home. We'll leave early so we're not late for work tomorrow. Olivia just nodded in agreement. The birthday party was at an expensive restaurant. Everything was perfect. Bruce doted on his wife, ignoring the girls who smiled invitingly at him. Bruce, are you drinking? Olivia gasped. But who's going to drive? You, Bruce smirked. I've seen how you park. That means you're an excellent driver. But I've already had 3 glasses of champagne, Olivia giggled. The party was very fun, and the couple forgot all their disagreements. They returned home by taxi, drunk and happy. At home, they decided to continue the celebration, and passion overtook them both, clouding their judgment. The next morning, Bruce woke up with a slight fear. He didn't regret their night for a second, but he was anxious about Olivia's reaction. Sorry for the stupid mistake, he said, meaning that he should have done things differently, confessed his feelings first, because he had fallen in love with her. But Olivia misunderstood his words, and they stung her deeply. She rushed away, slamming the door behind her. Olivia, I didn't mean it like that, he called out, hurrying after her. But a call from his father interrupted him, demanding his immediate presence. Something urgent had come up at the firm. Olivia, Dad needs me. I'll be back as soon as possible and we'll talk, he shouted from the hallway and left the house. Bruce quickly handled the matter, explained to his father that he needed to get back to his wife, and rushed home. But Olivia wasn't there. He called his mother, but she hadn't seen her either. On the table lay a note. I'm filing for divorce, so you don't have to worry. Your parents won't disinherit you. I wish you happiness. Olivia. Damn it! Bruce exclaimed in frustration and rushed out of the house. Mum, where can Olivia be? Where can I find her? He asked his mother, explaining that Olivia had misunderstood and left. Zelda, delighted that her son was in love with Olivia, gave him the address of Olivia's father. Bruce headed there, buying a bouquet of roses on the way. His mother's instincts were correct. Olivia had sought refuge at her father's house. Initially, the man refused to let Bruce in, but after a sincere plea, he softened. Olivia! Bruce called out as he entered her room, finding her sitting on the bed. Olivia, you misunderstood me, and you left without giving me a chance to explain. He kneeled before her, tenderly wiping away her tears, and took her hands in his. I'm sorry for all the pain I've caused, for not telling you sooner that I love you. But I don't regret a single moment we've shared. Please forgive me. Don't leave me. I don't want a divorce, and I don't care about the inheritance. Just stay with me, he whispered, holding her hands tightly. Olivia embraced him, reassuring him that she loved him too and had no intention of leaving. Together, they returned home, determined to start fresh, leaving their past hurts and disagreements behind. Bruce thanked his parents for Olivia, confessing that they had made him the happiest man alive.